What's up, gang? Welcome back to another video of mine. First things off, how do you guys feel about the setup? I kind of like it. I kind of vibe with it. It's kind of like a warm kind of vibe. I'm not sure how it's gonna look after I edit it, but I kind of vibe with it. Not bad. But anyways, if you read the title today, it's about this book that I read, The Psychology of Money. Yeah, so I'm gonna start this series on the book club. I don't know what to call it yet. If you guys have any ideas, let me know in the comments. I feel like book club is very average and very basic, boring, you know, like book club, ooh, yippee-ki-yay, you know? This book is honestly, it's phenomenal. It's probably, if you were to read any book, it would have to be this book. After this video, I really hope that I inspire you to buy this book and read this book. It is really good. It's not sponsored. I have only 60 subscribers, so how the hell could it be sponsored, you know? But it's really good. I have books everywhere. I read a ton of books, and I promise you I didn't have these books here for that point, but I read a lot of books, okay? And this book is really good, so I'm just gonna get into it. Okay, so have you ever wondered why stupid people are rich? Or why really intelligent people who work extremely hard, 80 hours a week or 60 hours a week, and they're dirt poor? Because this book, it teaches you there's people who have a certain behavior towards money. I can read 1,000 books a year and still be poor. Just because I know what to do with money, it doesn't mean that I'm going to be rich in the future. I can pat myself on the chest every day, say, yo, I'm going to be rich. But if I don't have the behavior to become rich, I'm not going to become rich. So let's just get into my 5 takeaways on the psychology of money. These takeaways are the main points I took away from this book. You should read the book, and maybe you have other takeaways, but these are just my takeaways that I got from the book. These are my 5 main points that I think that are the most valuable. So pay the risk means, I'm just gonna give you a few examples, okay? If I want a new computer, I have 3 options. I could go to the store and buy a brand new computer. I could go online and find used parts and build the computer. Option 3 would be I can go out and go steal the computer, okay? All of these options have risks. If I go in the store and I buy the computer, there's minimal to no risk of me losing what I paid for. If the computer breaks down in a week, I can go return it and say this is what's wrong with it, get my money back, blah, blah, blah. Barely any risk. There's still a risk of the computer dying, or you drop the computer, or your cat knocks water on the computer and then it's done. That's a risk of buying the new computer. The second option that I gave was buying used parts and building the computer yourself. So you can buy a bad part and then you have to buy another part and waste more money on parts. So there's more risk of building the computer and buying the parts by yourself than going to the store and buying a new computer. The third option I gave was going and stealing the computer. There's a ton of more risk with not a lot of gain. Because if you steal the computer, you just have a computer that's worth $2,000. But the risk is you can go to jail, hurt your future, and have a criminal record. So there's little gain, but a large risk. What I'm trying to show you is the stock market, for example, okay? The safest thing in the stock market that you can do is invest in index funds, the S&P 500. I've talked about this in a video in the past, but the S&P 500 is very safe. So in every investment in life, there is a risk, okay? But the point of this book is to lower your risk, okay? But every person has different risk levels. In the stock market, there's the S&P 500, there's building your own portfolio, and there's investing in the meme stocks, or the stocks you heard on the news, or the stocks that a YouTuber gave you, or penny stocks. The S&P 500 is the safest thing that you can do in the market. If you invest your money in the S&P 500, you are 99.9%. If you are a long-term investor and you put 20 grand in there and you leave it, you don't touch it, you don't look at it, you leave it there for 20 years. That's my point on this first takeaway is you pay for risk. You have to understand your risk levels and understand the risk of your investments. My second takeaway on the psychology of money, which looks so good on camera by the way, is when are you done? So let's just say me and you are best friends, and I tell you I made $1 million, and you told me that you made $1.5 million. Now I'm sitting here, damn, this guy just made 500K more than me. How do I find that next opportunity to make even more, right? As humans, if I have a goal to make $1 million and I make that $1 million, once I have it, I'm gonna want more, and I'm gonna want more, and I'm gonna want more. But when is enough? Like, when are you done looking for that next $1 million, right? So just because you made 1.5 million, it doesn't mean that I have to go make more. You know, like, it's not a competition. $1 million is $1 million. Like, you can live off $1 million. Like, you have to realize when is enough enough. Like, when is 10 million enough? When is 100 mil enough? When is 1 million enough? When is 100 grand enough? You have to understand when is time to just calm down, relax, and just realize that you have enough money to live off freedom. If you are free and you don't have to work and like you reached your goal, I'm not saying stop at 1 million. I'm just saying set your goals, like your massive goals. When you achieve your goals, start to calm down. Because if you have FOMO and you just made $1 million and now you want $10 million, but now like you have this ego where like I want more and more and more and more, but eventually you could get burned. When do I stop? When is enough? When can I retire? When can I relax? Like humans, like once we have a big house, we always want a bigger house, right? But when is the house too big? That is my point. Okay, so the third main takeaway that I want to take away from this book is, this is probably like the most important one, is compound interest. Compound interest, if you don't know what it is, I'm going to show you a little video right now. I put 20 grand to start with, and then I put $400 each month. You get 8% return, which is the average of S&P 500. And then this is what you get. The total interest is what you get. And then look at the balance. You have 40 years out, you have $2 million from just putting $400 into your account, starting with $20,000. $20,000 to some people is a lot. Yes, I'm using it as an example, okay? You build up to this, and some people think it's not a lot of money, some people do think it is, okay? But this is just what I started with. You can start with $10,000. The same effect will happen with less money. Like it just matters on what you put in every month and what you start with, okay? This is the example of time. It matters, man. You cannot buy time. That's the crazy thing in life. You cannot buy time. So the earlier you invest, the more you get. No one cares about you. No one cares about you. If I have a GTR, no one really cares that I have a GTR, to be honest. If I'm driving a GTR on the highway and you see me, are you gonna say, oh, I wonder what that person looks like inside the car? Or are you just admiring the car? Don't tell me you are sitting there like asking yourself about me driving the car. You're not. You're admiring the car. You like the car. You like what you see. And when you see a nice Lambo or a GTR on the highway, you picture yourself you driving that, or what it takes to get that. Like, you want that thing because it's nice. If you want a mansion, like, you don't think about the people who own the mansion. You think about yourself owning the mansion and what it's like to live a life like that. But in reality, like, no one cares about you. Like, no one cares that you drive a GTR. No one cares that you have a mansion. Like, people who buy GTRs and Lambos, they want that respect. They want to flex their money. They want to, like, be respected by the person looking up to you, right? But that's not what happens. And like the wealthy people understand that. Like, I think like Warren Buffett like drives like a Corolla or something like extraordinary like that. with his net worth, that's what he drives. He understands that wealth is not shown. Don't buy a Louis V belt or a Gucci purse because like you want people to respect you because you have something that's expensive. Like if I drive a Ferrari, you're assuming that I'm rich. You're assuming that because I have a car that's worth 500 grand. You're assuming that I'm rich. You're assuming that it's paid off and it's rainbow and flowers and daisies, you know? But in reality, I could be broke. I could be dumb broke. I could be working a job and put all my money towards this car and have zero money in my bank account, zero money in assets, but I can have this car. I may look rich. You assume that I'm rich because I have this car. That is what this book is teaching you as well. Like, just don't assume that people are wealthy just because of what they drive or what they live in, you know? Because like you don't see their bank, like you cannot see wealth. You can see rich, but you cannot see real wealth. Real wealth is saving your money, buying assets while saving money, and using those assets to buy like a Ferrari or a mansion and still save money. That's wealth. My fifth takeaway is do not listen to your friends. Do not listen to your neighbor. Do not listen to the neighbor that made $1 million in Bitcoin. Do not follow the news. I see Facebook dropping 25%, I get excited. People who sold off are scared that the stock is going to go to zero. In reality, the stock's not going to zero. There's still a company in the real world that is behind that stock price. Every smart person makes wrong choices in life. Every person sometimes is wrong. Every stupid person is sometimes right. Analyze a situation and make a decision for yourself. Don't listen to what other people have to say because they are not the ones making it for you. If you lose, they don't lose. If you win, they don't win as well. Do not let other people tell you, because especially on YouTube, there are people that are telling you to buy stocks or sell stocks and they're completely wrong. Some of them are completely right. Maybe most of them are completely right. But do not listen to them because when you're wrong and you think that, oh, they're right, you'll put so much money into it. And if you're wrong, you just lost so much money because of someone else, not yourself. If you lost $1,000, that's on you and you will learn from that, hopefully, right? But don't listen to other people telling you that something is going to happen or not happen. Do your own research and focus on yourself. Do not let other people tell you that something is going to turn out a certain way. That's just my takeaway on this book. Like I said, I'm very passionate about this book because I do believe that what the author was telling me, which is Morgan, he said that wrong, I'm sorry. But I think this is a very well written book. I think it's a very easy read. If you don't know anything about finance or stocks or anything, it's a very good read and I think you will understand it. I think you will learn a lot from it. I think if you have learned a lot from this video, make sure you like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys. It really does do a lot for the algorithm. Comment on if you guys are gonna buy this book or not, if you guys agree with what my takeaways are on this book or if you even like this video, okay? Let me know if you guys even like the setup. I think it's kind of a vibe, but let me know in the comments. I will be reading them. They're not a lot. I'm not a big YouTuber like that. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. It's going to be photography related, so stay tuned. Deuces! I never know where it is. Oh shit! Don't act like you haven't picked your ass before, okay? Because it's natural, alright? Don't judge. Hey, like you guys caught me lacking. I'm gonna put it in the video. I don't care. I don't care if you guys judge me, alright? Don't move like you don't do it yourself. You get me? Deuces.